Welcome to Small Talk. My name is David Shaw. I want to tell you this week of two inspirational women, both called Doris. The first Doris was a steward at the church where I was first as a minister, where I was stationed from college. As a guy in my 20s, Doris was one of a great team of stewards. Our first encounter with her was a knock at the door, and she delivered this wonderful ham, asparagus, rice bake covered with crisps. From then on, it became a family favourite. I remember a conversation with Doris where she told me how she'd become a steward. My predecessor had said to her, "Doris, we think you're called to be a steward." And she'd said, "I don't think so. I'm in my early 80s. And he said, "Oh, yes, you are. We want you to be a radiator." And she smiled her big Doris smile. And she radiated at that moment. She radiated probably when my predecessor asked her. She radiated every time she encountered my wife and I. She radiated God's love. She radiated the joy that there was in serving her Lord. The second Doris was quite different. It was in another church, a rural church. It was a church where we jokingly said you had to have a stick to be a member of that congregation. Doris had a stick. It was a white stick with red circles around it, hoops around it. Her stick told us that Doris was both blind and deaf. She too was an elderly woman, but I don't remember Doris ever missing a service where I was at this church. After I'd been there several years, we decided we needed a sound system, a microphone or two with amplification and a loop system. And I was privileged enough to be the preacher there on the first Sunday after this sound system was installed. And it seemed to go really, really well. We were in the schoolroom after the service having our usual tea, coffee and biscuits. And we were talking about the sound system. And I remember Doris saying, "Do you know, that's the first service I have heard in 10 years. We all just stopped. This woman had been faithfully attending worship when she couldn't see or hear for 10 years because she wanted to be with God's people worshipping this great God that we have." Oh yeah, we felt regret that we hadn't done this a lot earlier. Why hadn't she told us we might have done? But we were in awe of her. Two Dorises who have inspired me. Who inspires you?